And I gotta say, I have been with this many. And my husband looked at me and said, Mama, you ain't no whore. You just have friendly Tyler.
Proof was not revealed during the podcast. This clash represents Monique's bigger fight against what she considers as unjust treatment by influential people in the show business. The interview also covered wider topics such as Monique's legal case against Netflix for bias and her challenges for equal treatment and pay in his tour. It seems like they're preparing to expose Kevin's career, which they say is not what it looks like. Kevin Hart must be nervous knowing that Tori and Katt are joining forces and might be ready to reveal some big secrets about him. But is there a huge bombshell waiting to drop about Kevin's career on this tour? That's the burning question. This is not the only problem for Kevin Hart this year. He was also in the headlines recently when his ex-assistant Aisha Sheikh revealed some dirt on him in an interview. She alleged that Kevin cheated on his wife and had debts to his employees because of his gambling problems.
So how does it go from you saying you're going to give me an apology to now I owe you an apology?
But what do you want an apology for?
Disclosure agreement. But then Katt Williams came along with his own shocking interview. He doubted Kevin's quick success in the entertainment industry, implying that Kevin's background didn't match those of his colleagues. Katt highlighted gaps in Kevin's story, especially his claims of an East Coast comedy origin when he's now a star in LA. Katt's remarks join the voices that challenge the genuineness of Kevin Hart's public image and career journey. Kevin has a lot to deal with both personal and professional problems coming from different sides. Katt Williams has his own opinion on how Kevin Hart got so famous, and it's something Kevin wouldn't want everyone to know. Katt thinks that Kevin didn't rise to the top like his peers because he had contracts ready before he even built a reputation in the industry. Katt says Kevin achieved his fame by selling his soul, which basically made him a plant of the industry. Katt has often expressed his worries about how far some people would go for fame, unlike him who tries to maintain his brand. He's known for rejecting offers that would make him give up his values. Kevin, on the other hand, seems ready to do anything to earn money, according to Katt. This conversation brings up the wider issue of black male actors being asked to wear dresses as part of their roles, a trend Katt and others think aims to weaken black masculinity. Dave Chappelle has also talked about this issue, notably in a 2006 interview with Oprah. He shared an experience where he was pushed to wear a dress for a movie scene he felt didn't need it. Despite his resistance, he was told it was a rite of passage for comedians, a suggestion he strongly denied. Chappelle's rejection to wear the dress was part of his wider position against giving up his integrity for fame or money. He famously walked away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central, worried it would make him lose his principles. He also objected to being put in scenarios where the jokes would be on him rather than with him. When Kevin Hart was questioned about the industry's demands for black comedians to humiliate themselves for success, he stressed the importance of artists safeguarding their brand and not crossing their own limits for the sake of fame. This conversation between comedians underlines a crucial discussion about integrity, brand protection, and the obstacles black ENTs encounter in Hollywood. Kevin Hart didn't clearly say he'd never wear a dress, but he said his personal beliefs hadn't been tested to that extent and he aimed to follow his principles. However, it seemed those principles didn't firmly forbid wearing a dress, as he showed up in a dress and wig on Saturday Night Live SNL soon after. This action triggered backlash from fans and fellow comedians who had long opposed such acts, branding him as sacrificing his integrity for industry approval. Katt Williams in a chat called out Kevin for this choice, implying Kevin had become a double dealer by doing the very thing he suggested he'd dodge. Katt emphasized the ongoing issue of black male comedians being coerced into wearing dresses as a way of weakening their masculinity, noting that Kevin's choice seemed to clash with his previous position. The argument intensified when Kevin replied to the criticism on The Breakfast Club, where he blamed Katt for blaming his difficulties in Hollywood on external factors rather than his personal choices, specifically citing drug use and lack of commitment as causes for Katt's failures in mainstream success. Kevin implied that Katt's lack of work ethic compared to their colleagues was why he wasn't liked by major industry figures. Katt fired back, denying Kevin's accusations about his drug use, and hinted that they chose not to cross paths, implying a deeper industry scheme of domination and deception. Katt claimed that Kevin's obedience to industry requests made him easy to manipulate, unlike Katt's own position of independence and refusal to give up his values. Katt also downplayed Kevin's talent, implying his success was not because of his ability, but rather his readiness to fit in with industry standards. He even said that Kevin only got some roles because Katt himself turned them down due to conflicts with their content. This exchange not only reveals their personal feud, but also underlines the wider discussion about the pressures Black entertainers face in Hollywood, the integrity of their artistic decisions, and the dynamics of power and control in the industry. Kevin Hart, who seemed not to care much about crossing personal boundaries, was always willing to take roles that contradicted what he said were his values. But the drama reached a new high when Katt Williams decided to bring Kevin's ex-wife Tori to his next comedy tour, The Dark Matter. This move has everyone buzzing because Kevin and Tori's breakup was full of stress and unresolved issues. It's expected that Tori might spill some uncomfortable secrets about Kevin during the tour. Kevin and Tori parted ways in 2011 after Tori filed for divorce, ending their marriage of 8 years. The reason? Tori found out Kevin cheated on her with several women, and there were rumors he was already dating his current wife Anaka Parrish while still married to Tori. Kevin's cheating was bad enough, but he also constantly disrespected Tori, even in front of the women he was dating. Ironically, Tori played a big role in Kevin's career, helping him with his comedy material without getting any credit or recognition. Despite her support and hard work, Kevin not only ignored her contributions, but also joked about his infidelities in his stand-up shows, making their personal hurt into public laughs. This betrayal was hard, especially since Tori had supported Kevin when he was still struggling to make a name for himself, helping him create the comedy that would make him famous. But he seemed to think it was fine to laugh at the vows they made and the life they built together on stage. Fans and observers have slammed Kevin for this, finding his stand-up jokes about his cheating not only unfunny, but disrespectful. The situation shows a deep disrespect for the relationship and Tori, who had initially been against divorce, showing how much she cared about their marriage. This drama between Kevin, Tori, and Katt Williams shows a complicated picture of personal and professional ties, with each person dealing with the outcomes of their actions in the public eye. Tori had big hopes for her and Kevin, thinking they could rule the comedy world together. She was all in, ready to do whatever it took to help Kevin reach the top. But Kevin, while he stayed true to himself, seemingly unconcerned by the trouble he caused. Even after their breakup, he didn't stop using their past, including his infidelities, as material for his comedy. In 2017, Kevin's then-wife Ina posted an anniversary post that seemed to clash with his marriage to Tori, causing speculation and debate among fans. Ina said the timing was because Kevin and Tori had already split up, a point Tori denied, saying they were still together when Enku entered the picture. The back and forth happened publicly, with Kevin jumping in not to explain, but to brush off the drama with laughter, showing his tendency to find humor in the situation at Tori's expense. This ongoing public saga made many expect Tori's involvement in Katt Williams' tour might make her reveal more about Kevin, possibly hurting his career. The tour announcement caused curiosity and concern for Kevin, as both Katt and Tori knew a lot about his personal and professional life that could be very exposing if shared publicly. After the hype around Katt's interview and the tour news, Kevin tried to dodge the criticism with a post on social media where he called Katt angry and advertised his upcoming Netflix movie LFT. This move was seen by some as a way to avoid the issues brought up by Katt instead of facing them directly. Also, Think Horton defending Kevin brushed off Katt's criticisms as boring and attention-seeking, adding to the story of industry conflicts and personal grudges among comedians. This messy web of personal and professional complaints, public arguments, and the mixing of personal truth with public entertainment shows a complex picture of the relationships between these figures in the comedy industry. It seems like the attempts to protect Kevin Hart backfired, because they just made more people curious about Katt Williams' interview. This extra attention actually helped Katt sell more tickets for his tour, so it's clear that a lot of people are keen to see what might happen next with Kevin, and it doesn't look like it will be good for him. When people asked Kevin about the tour and how he felt, he tried to act cool and mature, but it was pretty clear he was bothered by the whole situation. Adding to his problems, Kevin's latest movie LF hasn't been doing well at all. It's got really low ratings with a 28% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Reviewers have been very harsh, saying things like the movie wastes the audience's time. So it's safe to say Kevin is not having the best time, especially with Katt. Or more about Kevin. Is this her way of getting even, or is she crossing a line? Either way, it's clear this whole situation has caught everyone's attention, and people can't wait to see what happens next.